Coach, what was the focus of practice today? What were some of the things you were trying to iron out?
Obviously, offensively, being able to take care of the basketball. 19 turnovers last night for 26 points. Watching how they happened, how could we be better there, giving ourselves space, giving ourselves room, making quick decisions. All those small pieces of the possession game, which was so important for us last night.
Was there something in particular you noticed, a trend between the turnovers, or was it just a combination of things?
I think it was a combination of things. Detroit turning their defense up, plugging gaps a little bit more. Our ability to have the right intention of getting downhill, attacking the basket in space versus seeing a crowd. Just constantly talking about the quick decisions that we can make to put pressure on the defense once we do touch the paint.
What would you like to see differently in terms of the spacing on offense, especially when it does slow down in the half court?
Well, I can go into a lot right now. You want a whole book? At the end of the day, it is about quick decisions and understanding when we got to give each other room. So when there is a guy in the corner, in the opposite corner, the ball's on the right side of the floor, the big should be in the trail, there should be a wing on the opposite side. If you're open, you attack the basket, get downhill. If not, swing it through the big, play on the second side of the floor. When we got the ball to the second side of the floor, we would literally be 8th in the NBA. When we touched the paint last night, we are at a 59% rate. We'd have been top 5 in the league touching the paint. But that second half, we didn't touch the paint, we turned it over. So those key spacing pieces are important for us every night.
After the game last night, Paolo talked about this team's ability to maybe adjust to other teams' adjustments in the second half. Do you see that as a potential problem at all?
Yeah, I think the one adjustment that Detroit made last night, they just played a little harder. They got into the ball, they grabbed that a little bit more, they plugged the paint a little bit more, and our decisions became slower because there were a lot of gaps. There was no schematic adjustment that they made. It was more or less the lines. They did turn up their defensive heat a lot more. If you looked at the third quarter, they had about 2 or 3 blocks at the rim. They turned us over. They built walls in transition. As we were getting downhill in that first half, they were building a bigger wall than we were able to get downhill in those situations. And then they did a great job of getting downhill offensively after we had turned that basketball over or they got a block at the rim.
Jalen only missed 3 games, but back injuries are always a little bit tricky. What's been the process of him kind of getting back into rhythm and getting back into the flow?
Yeah, you see him doing his work here, trying to get his body back into game shape and the rhythm of game shots, and it's just going to take a bit of time just to continue that process of getting himself back together. Again, and then the minutes are going to be sporadic within the game, just so we're not pushing it too long, but ability to keep finding that rhythm as we go forward.
He took, I think, 13 threes last night. How did you kind of feel like he played and approach that part of the game? Do you want to see him maybe attack a little bit more? Or is it just about what he's comfortable doing right now?
Yeah, I think it's about all of us. I think what we need to do is continue to Beatty's point. I think that the key is that we continue to touch the paint to find those feet set, knock down threes. And I think to the other side of it is how can we get the ball to the second side to side more. So now we shift defenses. Now do we make them adjust to us versus us, adjusting to them by plugging the lane. But I'd love to see us touch the paint more in order to get the feet set, knock down threes.
Obviously, the turnovers were a big part of the story, but you still hold them to 106 points. I think it was a 102 defensive rating, one of the better defense ratings. Do you feel like in the half court, at the very least, the defense has started to kind of pick up its pace and pick up some steam?
I absolutely do. Our defense over the last 10 to 12 has been exactly what we need it to be. Now, there's a ton of things we can always clean up, but our attention to detail and game plan and focus of knowing who we're guarding and how we're guarding has definitely improved over the last 12. So I think that's going to be our calling card. And the next piece, that's why we worked so much today on taking care of the basketball, giving each other room and giving each other space to operate.
How is Anthony doing, and what was he able to do today?
Anthony was not able to do anything. He's on the floor now, probably just shooting some free throws and passing to the guys, but not able to go through any contact. Thank you all. Appreciate it.